They're quite similar in a way. Yeah, so I think she's ultra. So, go back to 2012, and I opened a retro gaming shop with my colleague Tom. We turned a eBay-based business selling games and computers into a physical shop in Streatham, and ran that for a couple of years, and that opened some doors to do what we really wanted to do, which was open an arcade bar, which opened in 2014 in Peckham. So we were the first arcade bar. There's obviously some arcades still lingering around, and then there's a sort of new generation of arcade operators, but they're mostly sort of warehouse kind of style things rather than a bar. And there was a few gaming bars around, gaming lounges, although even that hadn't really got going. But to my knowledge, we were the first arcade bar operator in the UK, and now there's a few around the country.
I haven't done this in about 20 years, to be honest.
Really, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember playing this as a kid?
Yeah. I loved it when I was younger.
So for us, it's pretty simple combination of booze and retro arcade games. So they're the two key components.
And what sort of clientele do you tend to get?
So it's quite varied. In our Peckham bar, we've got more of a late crowd. It's more of a dive bar. We have a lot of DJs, so crowd's quite young. And yeah, especially since we reopened after Corona, the crowd has got even younger. So and it's more of a nighttime operation. But our Elephant and Castle and Hackney Wick bars have more of a daytime offer. During the weekends, we get a lot of families. Still get a young crowd there as well, but it's probably a bit more mixed. So I'd say anything from kids who've just turned 18 up to people who probably enjoyed the games the first time they came around, who would be in their 50s now. It's definitely a bit of both, but I'd say the nostalgic element does play a big part. So I mean, right now, it's N64. It's really nostalgic. A lot of my customers remember that, but now it's obviously as the crowd gets younger, it might be PlayStation 2 or GameCube, and eventually it'll move forward. But I think people who don't know the games we've got will still hopefully discover something new. And I think some of our arcades, like the most popular ones, tend to be the sort of late 90s ones. So I guess that is an indicator of our crowd who might remember some of those games from when they were kids. I'd say it is happening. So whether there'll be a mass of latecomers to it, like with Crazy Golf. You see most cities there's going to be 3 or 4 Crazy Golf operators. I don't think it'll get to that stage because, by and large, people who love arcade machines aren't necessarily the most business-minded people. So, and they're not easy to look after. So, I don't think you're going to see like a mass of, like say with burritos when suddenly 3 or 4 brands appeared, or like I said with Crazy Golf, it's not that sort of market. You might get more local in one city. You might get a few independents, and maybe the likes of us and our competitors might rock up, which would probably saturate a city, because I think 3 or 4 might lose its appeal, but I don't really see that being commonplace.